Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla, if you're new here. Today we're going to be doing what I read in 2021. Now, yes, it may be February 1st. I may be a little late, but it's fine. It's fine, okay? I wanted to get these out there because they're amazing books and I love them and I want to share them with you. So yes, they were read at this point last year. But that doesn't matter, right? It's not that far. We're gonna get right into it, but first, subscribe, turn on bell notifications to get notified every time I post a new video. Make sure you give this video a like if you want to see more book videos, and comment your favorite book that you read in 2021. We can all chat about it in the comments. These are it's fine, okay? These are the books I've read. I'm gonna turn them around for the thumbnail, but yeah, all of these. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9. I just got into reading like a couple months ago, probably like over the summer probably. So that's why there's only 9. But it's like, it's fine. It's fine, I'm getting more into it. Okay, thumbnail complete. I have all of my comments on here, and I have a Goodreads that honestly I haven't been using as much as I want to. I'm gonna make that more of a goal this year though. So I guess I only reviewed one book. We're definitely gonna improve that this year. But we're just gonna start with like I'm gonna go in timeline order of what I started and where I ended. That's the order. So my first book that I read was Love and Luck, and I actually started this like a while ago. I only read about half the first time, so I reread the whole book. But this is a sequel to Love and Gelato, and it's by Jenna Evans Welch. I highly recommend Love and Gelato. This was probably like a 2.5 out of 5. Love and Gelato was probably like a 4.5 out of 5. So this is from the best friend's perspective. So in Love and Gelato, it was from the girl that moved to Italy. This is from the best friend that stayed home. She's trying to go visit the girl in Italy. She has a big secret about a boy and she's hiding it from her mom. Her brother knows and he's mad at her because it was his brother's friend or something like that. But they go on a family trip to Ireland, and I think it's Ireland. They go on a family trip somewhere, but they end up going to Ireland. I believe that's where it is. Her brother wants to go visit a bunch of band places for his like article or something like that. And so they like bond, and then they have another guy there, and like they work it out. And it's a bunch of like adventure things. Like their car breaks down, they have to figure out how to fix it on the highway when it's pouring, and like it's just a bunch of random stuff like that, but it's pretty good. It's like a fun read, but like I wasn't too invested in it, so. Okay, this next one is what like really got me into reading. The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. This book is a 5 out of 5. It's so good. It makes you cry. There's some jokes in it. It's so good. There's love. There's conflict. There's roller coasters. Oh my god, it's so good. So it says that English. It says that it is a tragedy on the front. It doesn't work out with a happy ending. But it's fine. It's okay, I guess. My jaw was dropped at the end of it. Mind blown. Full circle moment at the end. Oh my god. The whole story is like a love story, kind of like wanting to be a love story. But something happened. And then something else happened. And it's just so sad. Yeah, you should read it. The character development is incredible. Like, I was so attached to these characters and wanted them to just get married right then and there. They're in high school. I don't care. they need to get married, and then something happens, and I'm like, oh, that did not happen, and it did. So I know a lot of people have read it, I think, but I don't hear anyone talking about it. You need to read it. Like, it's so good. I read it so quickly. I want to read it again, but I know it won't hit as hard. Like, God, half of it was like chill, normal, good vibes, kind of, and then the second half was like, what? That did not happen. And then you flip a couple pages and like you keep reading and it's like, no way, no, what? Okay, it's just a mess, but in a good way. Okay, it has a roller coaster on the front. That's because it's a roller coaster of a story. Okay, this is another 5 out of 5. The Dark Metropolis by Jacelyn Dollamore. This I read in probably 3 days. This like made me keep going with my reading because it just, oh god, I read it so fast in like 300 pages. That's a lot for me. But I would come home and like read for hours. I would read on my breaks at work. I would read at school. Like, I read it all the time for those 3 days. It's a mystery and slightly a thriller on some parts. And then it's also kind of fantasy, but it's also mixed into the real world. Like, it's a lot. So basically, I'm gonna not spoil anything. So this is just like a very bland introduction. So there's a main character. She's a waitress. Her best friend goes missing. And she's like, girl, you don't do that. Where'd you go? And so she goes to find her. And then she meets a rich guy. And then he helps her. And then they discover his uncle's doing something. And they're like, crap, that doesn't sound right. So then they go explore. And then they find things. And the things are not where you think they would be. And the things that they find are not things that you think are a thing. Yeah. The scenery in this is built so well. Like, you can picture the whole thing like a full-on movie, but it doesn't have a lot of description. The words that describe it are meaningful and like have a lot of impact, I guess. Like, it'll be like 5 words and you know what the room looks like. It's amazing. I hate when books describe the scenery a lot, so this was amazing for me. Like, you can understand fully what is happening all the time. Okay, the next book is Behold the Dreamers by, oh gosh, Imbalo Mabu? I don't know. Anyway, it's Oprah's Book Club 2017 selection. So it's an old book, and I got it from like one of those used book things like that communities have where you can like put your old book and someone else can get it. I got it from that. So that's why it's all like beat up and everything, but it's good. I would give it like a 3.5 or 4 stars. It's just not really my vibe, but it was eye-opening, I guess, as a disclaimer sort of thing. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Look up like the, what is that word? I don't know what that word is. Anyway, that's a sensitive topic, just so you know. It's based in New York City, as you can tell from the cover, but it's about an immigrant family, like a couple, and then their 6-year-old son. They're from Cameroon, and they're trying to start a new life in New York City, which seems like not a good idea, like from the start. Like, New York City's to start your life? I don't know. They don't have a lot of like education. They're not very good at speaking English. So the husband gets a job as an assistant for a really rich guy. His wife gets a job to work in the Hamptons with the rich guy's wife. Okay. A lot of stuff goes down. Oh, there is another sensitive topic. Just look up the topics. Yeah. So a lot of stuff goes down in the Hamptons, and there's just a lot of family issues with the rich people. There's couple issues, like different cultural issues with the main couple. And it shows you a lot into the life of like an immigrant family, their culture, and how like when you're starting fresh and you're like leaving your old life, your family and everything, and trying to get money to send back to them, it like explains how difficult that all is and what the decisions are like. And it's just like eye-opening. Like, you don't think of half the things that they go through, and it's just wild. Like, they're trying to get their citizenship and they're having problems with that, and then they make like an ultimate decision at the end after a bunch of crap goes down. That part? Okay, there's like one big part in this book that you will never really see coming. It's like wild, actually. Yeah, okay. Next is The Homecoming by Robin Carr, and it's a Thunderpoint novel. This has like probably like 20 other books to it or something. It's one of those books that like older people read. That's what I always thought. I think I got this from that book thing as well, because I didn't know what books to read and I wasn't on Book Talk yet. So I got this and it sounded good on the back, so I just went for it, and it was really good. I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. I think I would. There's a couple spicy scenes which I did not enjoy. That I don't like reading about that. But basically the story is 2 main characters. They were best friends in high school, and then the guy broke her heart. He went away for a while to do whatever he had to do, but it didn't work out. So he came back, disappointed some of his family, has to work that out throughout the book. But then he has to convince the girl that he's sorry and forgive him. We know where all that leads. Like, it's a love story. But like, enemies to love, like lovers to enemies to lovers, that kind of vibe. So yeah, it's an alternating story. So one chapter is about the guy, one chapter is about the girl, and it like keeps switching perspectives. I think it's pretty dang good. It took me a while to get through, for no reason. I liked it. It was just hard for me to like keep picking it back up. I don't know why though. Like, it was a good book. I recommend. Okay, we're gonna move on. Next is Forever in Love by Suzanne Colasanti, and it says a city love novel. I don't know if there's like more parts to this book. This is another alternating story between 3 girls. There's Sadie, who is sorting out things with her family, and specifically her brother, because something big happened. And she's also like managing her love life. And then Darcy, she had something big happen to her, and now she's trying to like sort out how to deal with it. And then Rosanna is with a guy who is still in love with his ex. Not good. So she's trying to like figure out what to do with that, and she does. She makes a good choice. Yeah. It was a pretty good book, but not very memorable. Like, I remember a few scenes. I don't really remember which characters it happened to or like the situation. There's basically only a couple scenes that I remember. So yeah, probably like a 3.5 out of 5, because it was a good book. I know I enjoyed reading it, and there were things like that made me keep wanting to read, but it wasn't very memorable. So I'm gonna have to give it a kind of low rating. I recommend though, you should still read it. Okay, next is Elites of Eden. This goes along with Love and Luck. It's the sequel to Children of Eden. And I love the first 2 books, like Children of Eden and Love and Gelato. I also read those several years ago and just decided to read the sequels now. I've had this for a long time, like since it came out, but I never got around to reading it. So I just looked up a quick summary of the first book of it and then hopped right into this one. I'm gonna try to say it without giving away the first book. Although it's been like 6 years, you should have read it by now if you're gonna read it, but I'll pretend you didn't. So it's Joey Graceffa's book. It's basically these people that are confined to one city area, it's all artificial, and everyone's convinced that outside of that, Earth is destroyed and ruined and that the humans before destroyed it. So they're all brainwashed, and they have eye implants. No, they don't. Maybe they do. They have something with their eyes, and it's like a barcode sort of, and that's like how you know you're part of it. But to avoid the ecosystem getting destroyed, there's only limited to one child per family. So there's hidden secret children, hidden second children, and one of them gets implants in their eyes so they have like the same look as everyone else. The girl meets another girl who is also in the first book, but it like sparks a memory for her while they're in boarding school. Is that what it is? Yeah, boarding school. And she like senses something else is going on. So those two run off and try to find her old life, kind of. And a lot goes down. Like, I was very invested. There's a huge, almost war. I don't know. There's some burning and some killing. Kind of war. It's very interesting. It's mostly fantasy and sometimes a thriller, depending on the scene. It took me a while to remember details from the first book, and I still like am having trouble with this because I read it like several months ago. It's pretty good. You should read them if you haven't already. I'm gonna cover this. It's called All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I feel like I've talked about this before. I don't remember when. Anyway, this is the only book that I had on Goodread, and I gave it a 5 out of 5. I'm going mostly based on my Goodread because I wrote this directly after I finished the book. But I did like reflect on it in the following weeks. I loved the book so much. It was amazing. It made me sad for like a week after I read it though. Like, put me in like a not great mindset. Read the trigger warnings. That's the word. Read the trigger warnings. Just do it. It's like very emotional. And as you can see, there's like a whole bunch of sticky notes on the front and back. That plays a lot into the story. And it's like one of the best parts of the story at the end. Oh my god, it was so good. Okay, I cried during it. I like felt like happy and like hopeful. The first 250 pages were great. Like, such a cute little love story, kind of. It's like, I don't know how to describe it without like saying the main thing that happens and like the main conflict. And then I did not like the ending. The ending is what made me sad. It was an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. Like, one minute you're like, oh god, okay, continue. And then the next you're like, oh, they're so in love. And then the next is like, why is he doing that? And then the next it's like, oh, they're gonna be together. And then it's like, why would he do that? Excuse me? What? Why? Okay, why? I got very invested into these stupid characters. I wish I had a better ending and it wasn't so depressing at the end, but I guess that's like what makes it like impact you more, so fine, I'll let it slide. But like, oh my god, it was so good, and I wish I could have read it again, but like be prepared for the ending this time, because like I was so sad for days after. I was like, why did that happen? Like, the whole story, oh my god, it was just so good. A Magical New York Christmas by Anita Hughes. I got it from Target. It's really cute. There's this journalist who's poor. She goes to the Plaza Hotel in New York City and is being a ghostwriter for some rich guy. And he's telling her his life story, and she's like, oh, writing about it. He's telling her about this girl that she fell in love with many years back, and his journey working at the Plaza Hotel. And it's for the Eloise books. I didn't know those were actual books until recently, like a couple weeks ago after I read this. I thought this was like fake. I didn't know those were real books. And then I saw it, and I saw the book they're talking about in most of this. It was wild. It explains her time working for him, and she falls in love, and it's so cute. And it's like kind of a slow burn, because the whole time you're like, please, just be together. Just like, get the kiss over with, fall in love, let's go. Definitely a bit of a slow burn. Like, it's not a big book at all. It's like probably 300 pages. It's not a big book, but like the whole time you're just like, can you please just date already? Like, why is this taking so long? Just like, you had 20 chances, just do it. But they're also both hiding things from each other, and they have to figure out how to tell each other that. So yeah, I like this book for like Christmas vibes. It's so good. A cute, lighthearted love story again. I'll do like a 4.5 out of 5 on this. That is all I read in 2021, and I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you like if you like this video and want to see more book videos. Remember to comment your favorite book that you read in 2021 down below, or comment any book recommendations for me, because I'm getting through my books quick now. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on bell notifications to get notified every time I post a new video, and I'm working on being way more consistent the rest of this year. January was like a planning month for me, and February I know what videos I'm posting, I have a schedule, I'm prepared for February, okay? I hope you all stay safe and healthy and have a great day. I'll see you next time.